Hello guys, it's Mr. Acid Shark here. I've been wanting to talk to you about my experience at school, at a certain school I go to. And the experience that I've had is crazy. So you see, I go to this school called Abbey Academy, and the amount of shit that I've experienced, I wouldn't like to wish it on any upon you. I wouldn't like to wish it upon you for the shit that I've witnessed. So let's go down to the basics. In year 7, everything was fine. We got a new teacher. Like every classes. Like meet a teacher, go in, everything's all right. But then it wasn't. You see, our teacher is called Catherine Jackson. And we've been there for at least me and my class have been there for at least about 5 years. Now, I'm not gonna respond to anything. I'm not gonna talk about, say my friends' names in this video, because that would be private. But yeah, all you have to say is enjoy, and I hope you don't get sent here by your parents. So basically, I've been in Abbey Hill for at least at least for now about 6 years, going on 7, and please don't make any 6-7 jokes, please. I beg you. Anyway, so I've been going to Abbey Hill Academy for at least 6 years, going on 7, no 6-7 jokes, and yeah, I just hope you don't get sent here, because it was a hellhole for me. So year 8 was basically normal. Year 7, when my first day, I sat over across from a kid who didn't seem to like me that much. And fair enough, because he didn't end up liking me that much. He came out to be my bully for 4 years, and the teachers barely did anything. They didn't give him a detention, they just told him off, and it's just like shit altogether. So basically, I would like to say, my experience was absolutely just horrible. Like horrible. So in year 9, that's when it started to happen. My teachers started blaming me for things I didn't do. I have a few disabilities, as you might have found out. So I have short-term memory loss. I have nystagmus, which is a problem with the eyes, and tremor, which is a problem with the handshaking. So basically, Catherine said to me one time when I got in an argument, which I apparently said fuck you to a girl, which I'd never, apparently I have, and I got in trouble for it. And then once I said I don't remember saying that, and she said, Adam, I'm my teacher, Catherine Jackson. Now that's one name. I'm gonna say the teachers' names, but I'm not gonna say the student names, because that would be privacy information. Now, what I would like to say is, I'm gonna say the teacher names. I'm not gonna say my student names. Can you guys see that properly? Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can right there. Right. So Catherine Jackson said to me, Adam, you don't have short-term memory loss. You just want to remember things. You just remember things that you want to remember. And I found that quite hurtful, because yes, I do have short-term memory loss, and she doesn't have the right to say that. And yeah, so I let it slide, and then I went on for a few more weeks, and then that's when this all started to roll in. Like lying to us, blackmailing. She even told two of my classmates to stop talking about her cousin because it was annoying her apparently, and to the matter of fact that she like honestly, um, she never stopped talking about her cousin because they were basically best friends at that point, because they're cousins, cousins talk about each other, blah blah blah. Fair enough, but she shouted at her to stop it and stop talk. I'm tired of you talking about stupid Reggie all the time, and I'm like, well, you can't say that to a student, so yeah, and so basically, yeah. Um, I have documented all of this on my phone, so I have been given permission by the teachers to take a picture of a quote unquote song I'm writing, but it's basically like a checkbook for what teachers are doing to students. So basically, they're just lying to them, picking on them, and stuff in general. And then I got in trouble for being a joke. Come on, surely any teacher can shake a joke, not this one. And yeah, and the teacher's attention span is so low, right? I sneezed in my class one time in the science room with Victoria, if you want to piss her off. And well, you see, it didn't really go so well because, well, I sneezed on my arm and then I put my hand up to go to the toilet to clean it up, right? And I'm not even joking. It took her 15 minutes for her to respond to me. And by then, it was all dried in my jumper. And then my teachers blamed me for going out of class and missing work. So I said, so then in retaliation, I said, listen, right? And then obviously that's rude, but I couldn't think of anything else to say. So she just ended up saying to me, this is Kath, not Catherine, by the way, or Vicky. This is Kath. So she said, excuse me, don't be so rude. And obviously I didn't have anything else to say, so I was just like, okay, I'm sorry. Because obviously that's what these teachers do. They catch you in a loophole and then they blame you for being rude to them. So then they get the satisfaction of you apologising to them. And the principal is not much better. James Harrison. No, not James Harrison, James Newman. He is the head of the old building, the Sheraton building that I was in. And I'm in college now, so yeah. And so basically, I have it all photoed on my phone now, and yeah, and when I eventually break up from this hellhole, I'm gonna email all three of the heads, Steve, Catherine. She's like a different head teacher, not my school teacher in the Sheraton building, but she's another head Steve is just someone who is like taken out for her because she's currently having a baby, so that's nice. But anyway, yeah. So after I'm done with this hellhole, I'm going to send all the teachers who wronged me the slide I've currently made, and yeah, it's going to be 5 minutes before I leave the school, which is going to be good to see their reaction, obviously, and see if they can catch me before I get on the bus or whatever. And especially because they have a half day. Anyway, so basically, so yeah. And then in year 10, basically, what happened, still in the Sheraton building, you stay in the Sheraton building from year 7 to year 11, and you have to, make sure, like, you know that you're going to, like, that you go there till you're year 7, and then you go to year 11, and then you leave for this Abbey Hill sixth form for year 12, 13, year 12 and 13. Yeah, and so I have been staying there, and well, as you can tell, my experience hasn't really worked out well, because I keep on getting picked on, I keep on getting claims I'm being rude, and they're just basically not doing anything. And like, the bully who I sat awkward from on my first day, he ended up being my bully for 4 years, as I've mentioned, but he didn't get no detentions, he barely got in trouble. And then his mum was end up saying, like, take it up to the school. Now, I find that really hurtful, because how am I supposed to take it up to the school? I mean, it makes no sense, because it's over the phone. You deal with it over the phone. But I guess that was his mum's way of rolling, apparently. So yeah. So yeah, and after I moved to year 10, a few more troubles down the way. I was a bit more behaved now, and I somewhat learned how the teachers worked. So yeah, and after the 6 weeks half term, I came back, and apparently it was a Tuesday, and I expected we didn't have PE, considering that it was raining the same day, and when I got in, everyone had their PE kits, so I was like, oh no, and apparently we were having a PE test at some weird gym-looking thing where we're going in the minibus. And obviously I didn't bring my PE kit, but apparently an email was sent out, but my dad apparently didn't get an email, which I found really odd. So yeah, and Catherine said that because so when we got to the changing rooms, I claimed that I didn't have my PE kit, and then they started going off at me, saying like, well, we sent an email, and I was like, yeah, well, my dad didn't get an email, did he? And they were like, excuse me, don't be rude. And I was just standing there smirking, and they were like, just go look in the spare PE kits. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not putting them on. And she was like, excuse me. And I said, well, I'm not putting them on, because one, I don't know where they've been, and two, I understand if you say that they've been washed, but I'm still not putting them on because of the amount of students that's been putting them on. And she's like, well, they're cleaned every day, and don't be rude about it and go put one on now. And I was like, well, no, because I don't want some sweaty kids on me. no, because I don't want some kids drying sweat on me. So she kept on claiming I was being rude. I kept on declining. So then, one of our former PE teachers came over. His name was I think yeah, it was Simon. The one who told me to go put a PE kit on was called Emma Pink, and yeah. So she was like, go put one on now. And I was like, no, just standing there arguing with her. And then Simon came round and he saw what was going on. So he was like, Adam, can you go put one on, please? And I was like, no. And he said, why? And I told him the reason, and he seemed to be offended, but you can understand me, right? I don't want to put on some PE kits, like, because, like, mainly because, like, you don't see many, you don't see them leaving the room, you don't see the box of things leaving the room, and they claim that, like, they do it when the school's shut. Okay. But say if there was, like, another PE day that day, you're just going to leave them in there, you're just going to leave the PE kits in that little box sweating in the locker rooms. I mean, come on. Quit being so disgusting, you know what I mean? So I claimed I wasn't putting one on, and I finally gave in. But I said that I would only be taking my jumper off and putting on the trainers. I would not allow anything to touch my body, and they agreed. So we walked out, and then I saw who knew Catherine Jackson. She was quite rude, and she said we're going to have a chat after this, and well, she didn't come and talk to me after that. So yeah, claims to say it was for no reason to come after me like that, and so I got away with it, but not fully. Then one of my IT teachers, Harry Harrison, I had an altercation with him last year. Like, this is year 10, I believe, but that was like year 9. I had an altercation with him because he holds this thing in the school, camping. So he says how, like, he had to take a student's phone away from them because they wouldn't put it away, and I was joking with him, saying like, you give them back, don't you? Like, as a joke. But he took it way too literally, and started yelling at me to turn around and like just play my game or something, because apparently I was making him upset. I didn't mean for that, but him, for the way he was shouting at me, I didn't really respect it. So I just shut up, turned around with a smirk, and just played the game because it was free time at the end. So yeah, and in year 11, not in year 10, I was having on a Friday. I was having my dinner, and he came over, and he started causing an altercation with me, saying like, "I can't believe you forgot your PE kit," and it was like, well, it's sorted now, so can you leave me alone about it? And he was like, excuse me, stop being rude. Why did you forget your PE kit anyway? And I was like, well, my parents didn't receive an email. And he was like, every parent will send an email. And I was like, well, my dad obviously never. And he was like, excuse me, stop being rude, please. And it was like, well, I'm not being rude. So, yeah. I am in year 12 now, and I found another threat. Her name is, um, Sana. Sana. Anyway, her name is Sana, and I had a altercation with her. So I've heard some stuff about her, so I was like, okay, what could hurt? So I decided to go into her option to see what she was like, and she was a nightmare, let me tell you. Because the first day I haven't even joined her thing yet, because I have my tremor leads down to my legs when I do big walks, because I go walking and travel. So Steve put me in Enterprise with Sana, and you see, she had a notification with me that, like, apparently she said to me that, like, her group has been working so well that she's gonna go take them a McDonald's, but apparently saying that I'm not going because I'm new to her option, so I'm gonna stay here while she goes to the option with the others, and they're gonna have a good time. And then she starts rubbing it in my face, saying like, "Oh, we're gonna go get McDonald's, we're gonna go get chicken nuggets, we're gonna go get ice cream." And I'm like, "Well, it's fine. You have fun, because I'm not being in this option with you if you're gonna be snobby." That's what I thought in my head. Obviously, I didn't say that to her because she'd be fucking fuming if I did. So then I ended up staying at home afterwards. And yeah, that's the recent altercation I had. So if you like this video and want me to talk about like my another story that I have, feel free to ask. See ya.